little bit harder to see yesterday when I checked, but I can really see the cut on my lip where Luna scratched me while I was doing flea checks yesterday, so that's fun. So we just got our carpet cleaned today. As part of the lease renewal, they offered to do it for free. So that just happened, and I have to get everything put back after we put it all in the kitchen and the second bedroom and everything to make space. So yeah, but it really worked. Like, the 3 major stains we were trying to take care of are all gone, so that's awesome. Spot here because Luna is obsessed with straws and kept knocking down drinks and everything, and I had a little bit in the bedroom as well, but it looks so empty because most of the extra stuff is gone. So we've got like all of this pushed off to the side. Got the chairs and the trash cans and the side tables all mashed in the kitchen here. Still kind of drying the floor so you can see everywhere I've walked. Got a few things stuffed in here with the computers. Got the boxes for the kitties, actual kitties, chilling out. How you guys doing? You goodies? Banana. Okay. I'll let you guys out in a bit when the floor is dry. At least drier. And then have them go in here as well. So that's all clean. Yay. Now I need to eat lunch and kind of clear some stuff back out to its regular places. Okay, so my shelves are half empty looking because I have a lot of books. I'm doing 2 book hauls in one because I did not get a chance to really do anything for March, and I forgot also when I tried to do a wrap-up thing. So yeah, it's been a minute. Also, I rearranged all my shelves so that they're primarily organized by size and then author, and it's a mess, but it's the only way that most of my books currently fit. And yeah, so this is gonna be a run through of all of the books I have acquired throughout the months of both March and April, meaning that it will be comprising primarily of the Cobb County Library book sale and a buy 10 get 10 free sale from Gottwall's that happened shortly afterwards. I did also go to the Macon Library sale, but I didn't actually end up getting all that much. There wasn't actually a whole lot really there. Also, I only had about 15 minutes to look. But I still managed to more or less be satisfied with how much I got to check through because there wasn't really all that much going on. Anyway. So, chicken. Anyway, so there's a lot of books to go through. It's gonna take a hot minute to get through them all, but I'm gonna start off with ones that I don't actually currently have with me due to lending them out. So one of them that I got was The Case for Jamie as part of the Sherlock Holmes series by Brittany Cavallaro. I picked it up with a gift card I got for Barnes & Noble from my night shift team when I left them. They were amazing and lovely, and I got to pick a decent number of books for Barnes & Noble with it. So I've lent that one out to Cindy along with the rest of what I have so far of that series. I also have recently purchased a copy of the Viral Parenting book by Mindy McKnight from Cute Girls Hairstyles because I saw a lot of stuff about it, and there actually are a few things that I wasn't even aware of about certain settings on phones and whatnot. So I picked that up and is currently being lent out to Nikki and my mother to let them check it out while I'm reading other things for the Owls Readathon, which I have been thoroughly engrossed in this month, and I'm very close to finishing my 12th book, and it's my best reading month basically ever since I got back into reading. And as soon as I finish this last book, I'll be done with all of my owls, so I'm pretty psyched because I should be able to finish it today, and I have like a week left of the month, so I'm happy. So there's that. And then the last book that I don't currently still have with me is Geth and the Return of the Lythans, which is the first book in a attempted / partial spin-off from the 11 Thump series. I found that one as one of like my 3 or 4 books I found at the Macon Library sale, and I just lent that out with the rest of the 11 Thump series to Aeon when I went up there on Monday, the day before yesterday. So those are the ones I do not currently have in my possession. But of the ones that I do, we have a lot. So this is not going to be any real particular order, though more or less the order that they were on my shelves, because I just can't be bothered, and it's going to take a while to get them all back in, so I'm just going to work with it. So first book I have is Origin, which is the last of the Robert Langdon series / Da Vinci Code, which I got as part of the buy 10 get 10 free sale at Gottwall's. It's Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt, because the adaptation is beautiful and the book certainly should be lovely as well. This one was from the Cobb County Library sale. I have Catch Me If You Can by Frank W. Abagnale. Actually, interesting. Didn't realize. Anyway, I didn't even know this was a book until I saw it at the Macon Library sale of all places, and it was one of the few that I picked up while I was there. Next we have The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, which is a book that I've heard a lot about and ended up picking up from Kroger. Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham, which I have been wanting to get a copy of for ages, and it is one of the books that I picked out with the Barnes & Noble card that I got for leaving night shift. Wanted by Sarah Shepard from the Pretty Little Liars series. Finally found myself a matching paperback to go with the rest of the series I've gotten so far, and this happened to be at the Cobb County Library sale, I believe. Yes, library sale. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, and this was another pick from the buy 10 get 10 free at Gottwall's. One Summer in Paris by Sarah Morgan, which was a Kroger find, which I think I also initially heard of from Barnes & Noble when they did a signing about a month or so ago, but I didn't get a chance to really look into the book until I saw it there. Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson, which was another buy 10 get 10 free pick. We finally have managed to obtain a copy of The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. I have picked out this book and put it back at the last second, cut it off of my final purchase list so many times, and then I finally got around to sticking with it at the Cobb Library sale, partly because I also found a copy of the movie, and I'm just like, I found a copy of both. Is the sign it's gonna get through to the end. So even though I did make some cuts from the library sale, this was not one of them for once. One of 3 copies of Shopaholic series books. One is Mini Shopaholic, and this one was from the buy 10 get 10 free at Gottwall's. My Name is Memory by Anne Brashears, and this one was also a buy 10 get 10 free find, though initially it was on my wish list. I think I actually initially came across this through Book Outlet. In Some Other Life by Jessica Brody, which was from Barnes & Noble, also a pick from the Night Shift gift card. Everything by Nicola Yoon, which was a Gottwall's sale pick as well. Adulting and How to Become a Grown-Up in 535 Easiest Steps by what is it? Kelly Williams Brown. I just find it funny, and also it should be an interesting read. This was one I found at Barnes & Noble as well, with a gift card. Then we have the other Shopaholic book, 2 out of 3, which is Shopaholic and Sister. This is one, I believe I picked this one up from the library sale, because there's no Goodwell sticker. So, Goodbye Days by Jeff Zenner, I believe. And this is one I also originally came across through Book Outlet, but ended up getting it at the Goodwell sale. A Whole New World, which I ended up picking up from Kroger, though I originally heard about it, I think through a Goodwell's, no, it wasn't Goodwell's post. I don't remember. There was something I saw where they were advertising the rest of the series after I already have the one about Beauty and the Beast, and then Kroger picked this one up. And it's rare anymore that Kroger has like books that I've been looking into. And the last of the Shopaholic books, I believe, that I got over the last 2 months is the Shopaholic and Baby by Sophie Kinsella. This one was part of the Goodwell's books. I have the Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. This was one I picked up from the Goodwell sale as well. I also have Love Blind by C. Desir and Jolene Perry, which was also a Goodwell's choice, though it was originally found through Book Outlet. And another set of books I got from the Barnes & Noble gift card selections were the Forgotten Book and Book Jumper, both by Mechtild Glasser. I saw these at Book Outlet initially, and they're both centered on like interacting with books. One of them is she's able to go into a book of choice, and the other one is where she can make the book come to life, I believe. Something along those lines. But they both sound awesome. Scarlet by Marissa Meyer from the Lunar Chronicles series, which was another Goodwell's sale pick. And while I was at the Cobb County Library sale, I managed to be lucky enough to grab an entire series and matching set, which is the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brashares. I used to have all 4 of these books ages ago in like 8th to 10th-ish grade, and I don't remember why I gave them away, but I've been regretting it. Possibly because of the fluke of how they decided to do the second movie. We'll be honest. And another Goodwell's pick was Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. This is one I've also had my eye on from Book Outlet, and I happened to stumble across a copy there. Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessel, one that I have been looking for since I first heard about it through Emma Books, and got it. I cannot speak. I ended up getting this with the gift card from Leaving Night Shift as well from Barnes & Noble. And I have actually wound up with 3 more Series of Unfortunate Events books over the last 2 months. Meaning I have finally finished rebuilding my collection of Series of Unfortunate Events. It's been a slow road, but worth it. So I have now managed to acquire the Reptile Room, the Wide Window, and the Austere Academy, books 2, 3, and 5. And so now I have everything, including the unauthorized biography. The only thing I don't have technically is the Beatrice letters, but after having borrowed a copy from Eleanor, I'm okay with where we're at. But mostly Homeless, which I did mention having gotten earlier when I actually first got it delivered. I picked this one off of Amazon to finish out the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series, since I have been reading through it back in March, and will be getting back to it shortly once I finish the Owl's Readathon. That same day that I had the Amazon book delivered, I also got this book from the early readers program through Library Thing, which is one of the apps I've been trying out for cataloging this whole craziness of like 300 plus books that I have. And so this is an advanced copy of A Divided Mind by M. Billiter. I haven't read it just yet, but I will also be getting to this month. I just had already set up everything where I was in the middle of my March reading and already had committed to the Owls Readathon and just didn't have a chance to really fit it in at the time. We have another library sale find, which was The Time Machine and the Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. I was initially coming for The Time Machine, and this happened to just be the best of the copies that they had there, with The Invisible Man also included. And then going back to Gottwall's finds, we also have two other classics here. One is The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells also, and then we have Scarlet from the Gone with the Wind series. And I actually also had a giant hardback copy of this book, but I've been trying to make a little bit more space, and I already had a smaller mass paperback copy like this of the original Gone with the Wind book. So I decided to match them up since I was looking for a final book to complete my 20. This one is actually one that I picked up just the day before yesterday when I was in Atlanta. I met up with Nikki at 2nd and Charles briefly before going and visit with my mom. Also had plans to go and visit Lisa since she just had her baby last Sunday, but sadly, health issues, we had to reschedule. But anyway, we've happened to find Around the World in 80 Cliches, and Nikki and I just enjoyed flipping through this and just seeing all the crazy little like idioms that are used around the world and their like equivalents in different languages and everything, and some are just super funny. Two more picks from the library sale. I end up with Holes by Louis Sachar and Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. Took me a second to remember the name. These two are ones that I have read before ages back, but I have not read them in ages, and the stories are pretty good. One of the last ones that I've still got a decent bit left. One of the other ones that I got from the Gottwall sale is Romeo and Juliet. This, I believe, is the same copy I ended up picking up from my school library when we were doing the video project for Freshman Lit that my friend Audra and I completely bombed at in the end. It was really terrible, and I think it's the first thing I ever uploaded on YouTube is that trailer, and the audio just is not allowed on YouTube because I chose to use Nickelback, and it was a A+ choice, clearly.
Hast thou met with him? Why lookest thou sad? I would, and you be quiet. Speak, goodness, speak. Well, you have made a similar choice. You know not how to choose men. He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him. What says he of our marriage? Have you got leave to go to shrift? I have. Then hie you to the friar lords himself, for there stays a husband to make you a wife. Hie to high fortune. Farewell, good nurse. Friar, where is my lord? Come away, thy husband in thy bosom, there lies dead. A cup, closed in my true love's hand. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. There's Juliet, supposedly. Okay, I've forgotten courteous penalty and gentleman. I know, but I knew there was something between the two. I was like, what? Crap. Huh? Yeah. What? Repeat that. How he smiles in the light. Shut the camera off! Go again, go again!
So yeah. I also got detention in Saturday school for this book as well, because my teacher did not really care about late hall passes, and the lady who was in the library at school just took forever to get to her desk. So I was about halfway back down the hall to my homeroom after getting this book checked out that the bell rang, and yeah, fun times. Okay, this wasn't the one for Saturday school, but it was still detention. The other detention was being 10 minutes late because I was picking up supplies for a gingerbread house for math class, which was the class I was late for. And it was like the week before Christmas break, so they weren't doing detention. And I didn't know when I was supposed to go to detention because I've never had detention. And then next thing I knew, they're like, you have Saturday school because you didn't go to detention. Fun times. We're not had. Why Not Me by Mindy Kaling, which was a last second find in the Macon Library sale that I picked up. The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon with the beautiful sprayed edges of purple, which is another one I grabbed from the Barnes & Noble gift card situation. All That You Leave Behind by Erin Lee Carr, which was in my most recent Book of the Month box for April. And it's basically like a memoir of either the daughter is a filmmaker or the father was. I'll have to double check, but yeah. And then going back to the Cobb County Library sale, I found Then We Came to the End by Joshua Ferris, which is one I initially heard of through a book outlet and happened to look up on a copy for only $1. Landline by Rainbow Rowell, which I found at the Gottwall sale. Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson, which was also from Gottwall's. Final Girls by Riley Sager, which happens to be a Book of the Month copy, but was actually hiding out at Gottwall's as well. Another Jenny Lawson book, Let's Pretend This Never Happened, also from the Gottwall sale. Friend Request by Laura Marshall, one I found through Book Outlet initially, but ended up picking up at the Gottwall sale. Surviving High School by Lele Pons, and this was actually something I managed to just stumble upon at the Goodwill down the street from here. And then along with my April Book of the Month box, I got an add-on from the July 2018 box, which was Ghosted by Rosie Walsh, which is one I've been really interested in for ages, and I just didn't get a chance to add it onto my box yet. And the very last book that I have acquired is more or less my favorite of them all right now. I just got it delivered on Monday. I actually ended up getting a Amazon gift card through a work contest thing, and I decided to splurge on this book that I've been adoring ever since I initially heard about it through a YouTube video where they were doing an anniversary gathering at the house for Doc Brown from the Back to the Future set. And so we have this gigantic Back to the Future Ultimate Visual History, and I'm in love with it, and it has all these lovely souvenirs like the letter that Marty writes to the Doc and the fancy envelope and everything. There's also a book cover of George McFly's book. We have, let's see, what else do we have in here? There's also the letter from 1885 that the Doc sends back to Marty at the end of part 2, and a Jaws 19 poster. And where's the other one? Yes. They also have a holographic sort of version of the picture from the first one where the siblings appear and disappear. And it's my favorite right now. Can you tell? Anyway, so yeah, that's all my books from March and April combined. And Well, I'll be honest, primarily like 90% of that is probably all March. But anyway, that's where we're at. I should probably actually count and see how many we actually have, because I don't know how many there are. So this one, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. 54 bucks. Plus the 3 I don't have with me, so actually 57 bucks is a lot. But I love them all. Anyway. Now I have to put them all back. It's gonna be fun. So it's back. Now I see how pretty well stocked everything actually is right now. I have all of these books on the top still. And this is all the books that I've read and finished so far this month. So there's 12 here from the Readathon. And hopefully there'll be a couple others if I manage to finish them in the next week, which I should. And then this is the rest of my leftover / advanced choices for next month. Is it? Yeah. So cute. So I'm waiting for Ed to get home. Should be any minute now. So we can have an early-ish dinner because we realized in the cleanup yesterday that there was a super old Applebee's gift card that we received ages ago that we never actually used because it got lost in the pile of papers. So we have food here. Fun times. Get off my table now, please. Thank you.